Some of the most tragic stories in history are those involving the loss of young innocent lives. In this video, we recount some of the most heartbreaking child murders that shocked the world and left deep scars on those affected. These stories are a painful reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating impact on families and communities. Their memories remain, as we reflect on their short lives and the need for justice. JonBenet Ramsey was a 6-year-old girl from Boulder, Colorado, whose mysterious case remains one of the most puzzling in modern history. On Christmas morning in 1996, her parents found a ransom note in their home, but hours later, JonBenet was tragically discovered in the basement. The unusual details of the case, including the ransom note and lack of forced entry, led to many theories, some involving an unknown intruder and others focusing on the family. Despite years of investigations, the truth remains unknown. JonBenet's story continues to captivate the world, leaving unanswered questions and a lasting legacy. James Bulger was a 2-year-old boy from Liverpool, England, whose tragic story shocked the world in 1993. While at a shopping centre with his mother, James was briefly left unattended. In that moment, 2 10-year-old boys approached him, took his hand, and led him away. James was later found miles from where he disappeared. Despite efforts to save him, the tragedy unfolded quickly. His case, involving children as both the victim and perpetrators, remains one of the most heartbreaking in modern history. James's memory is a solemn reminder of the need to protect the youngest and most vulnerable. Caylee Anthony was a 2-year-old girl from Orlando, Florida, whose disappearance and tragic end captivated the nation in 2008. Caylee was last seen in June of that year, but she was not reported missing until a month later by her grandmother. Her mother, Caylee Anthony, gave conflicting stories about Caylee's whereabouts, leading to a high-profile investigation. In December 2008, Caylee's remains were discovered in a wooded area near her home, raising more questions than answers. Although Caylee Anthony stood trial for her daughter's death, she was acquitted, leaving the case officially unsolved. Caylee's story remains one of the most heartbreaking mysteries, sparking ongoing debates about justice and truth. Gabriel Fernandez was an 8-year-old boy from Palmdale, California, whose story came to light in 2013. Gabriel lived with his mother and her boyfriend, where he endured unimaginable hardship. In May 2013, Gabriel was taken to the hospital after being found unresponsive at home. Medical staff discovered signs of prolonged mistreatment, and despite their efforts, Gabriel passed away 2 days later. The case sparked outrage, shedding light on failures in the child protection system. Gabriel's story remains a heartbreaking reminder of the importance of vigilance and accountability when it comes to protecting vulnerable children. Amber Hagerman was a 9-year-old girl from Arlington, Texas, whose story became the foundation for the Amber Alert system. In January 1996, Amber was riding her bike near her grandmother's home when she was taken by an unknown man in a black truck. Despite a witness reporting the incident to police, Amber's abductor was never found. 4 days later, her body was discovered in a nearby creek, and the case remains unsolved to this day. Amber's tragic story led to the creation of Amber Alert, a system that has since saved countless lives by rapidly notifying communities of missing children. Her legacy is a reminder of the importance of swift action and public awareness in protecting children. Madeline McCann was a 3-year-old girl from Leicester, England, whose disappearance in 2007 became one of the most widely reported cases in modern history. Madeline vanished from a vacation apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, while her parents dined nearby. Despite extensive searches and international investigations, no clear evidence about Madeline's fate has ever been found. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged, from abduction by strangers to accidental events, but the truth remains unknown. Madeline's case continues to spark global attention and serves as a heartbreaking reminder of the uncertainty that can follow when answers remain out of reach. Erica Parsons was a 13-year-old girl from Salisbury, North Carolina, whose disappearance remained a mystery for years. Erica was last seen in November 2011, but her parents did not report her missing until July 2013, sparking suspicion and concern. Her adoptive parents provided conflicting stories about Erica's whereabouts, claiming she had gone to live with relatives, but these claims were proven false. In 2016, Erica's remains were found in a rural area, confirming the worst fears of investigators. The tragic case of Erica Parsons highlighted the importance of vigilance and accountability in protecting vulnerable children. Her memory remains a somber reminder of the need for action when signs of neglect are present. Jessica Lunsford was a 9-year-old girl from Homosassa, Florida, whose story became a call to action for protecting children. In February 2005, Jessica vanished from her home overnight, leaving her family and community in shock. After days of searching, heartbreaking news emerged when Jessica's remains were discovered near her home. Investigators later determined that she had been taken by a neighbor, leading to widespread outrage and the creation of stricter child protection laws, including the Jessica Lunsford Act. Jessica's legacy lives on as a symbol of the need for stronger safeguards for vulnerable children, ensuring their safety and well-being. Sylvia Likens was a 16-year-old girl from Indiana whose tragic story in 1965 remains one of the most heartbreaking cases in American history. Sylvia and her younger sister Jenny were left in the care of a family friend, Gertrude Banaszewski, while their parents traveled for work. Over time, Sylvia endured severe mistreatment at the hands of Gertrude and several others in the household. Despite her cries for help, no one intervened in time to save her. Sylvia's passing shocked the nation, and the subsequent trial revealed the horrifying details of her ordeal. Sylvia's story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance, community responsibility, and ensuring the safety of vulnerable individuals. Adam Walsh was a 6-year-old boy from Hollywood, Florida, whose disappearance in 1981 led to one of the most significant child protection reforms in the United States. Adam went missing from a department store while shopping with his mother, sparking a massive search effort. 2 weeks later, Adam's remains were found miles away, leaving his family devastated. Though a suspect was identified years later, the case lacked sufficient evidence for a clear resolution. Adam's legacy lives on through the efforts of his parents, who became strong advocates for child safety. Their work led to the creation of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, ensuring Adam's story would save countless lives. Megan Kanker was a 7-year-old girl from Hamilton Township, New Jersey, whose story in 1994 led to a nationwide reform in child safety laws. Megan was last seen playing near her home before disappearing. Tragically, she never returned, and the investigation revealed a shocking connection to a neighbor. Her case led to the creation of Megan's Law, a regulation requiring public notification of registered offenders in local communities. This law has since been adopted across the United States, aiming to prevent similar tragedies. Megan's story remains a reminder of the importance of awareness and vigilance in protecting children from harm. Etan Patz was a 6-year-old boy from New York City whose disappearance in 1979 became a turning point in how missing children cases were handled. Etan was walking to his school bus stop in Manhattan when he vanished, sparking a massive search that captivated the nation. Despite extensive efforts, Etan's whereabouts remained a mystery for decades. His case led to May 25 being declared National Missing Children's Day in the United States and helped raise awareness about child safety. Years later, a man confessed to involvement in Etan's disappearance, but questions about the case remain unanswered. Etan's story symbolizes the lasting impact of missing children cases and the importance of vigilance. Victoria Climbié was an 8-year-old girl from Ivory Coast who tragically passed away in London, England, in 2000. Victoria had been sent to live with her great-aunt in hopes of receiving a better education, but instead, she endured severe mistreatment. Her death revealed shocking failures in the UK's social services, healthcare, and child protection systems. Despite multiple opportunities for intervention, authorities failed to act in time to save her. Polly Klaas was a 12-year-old girl from Petaluma, California, whose tragic story in 1993 shocked the nation. Polly was hosting a sleepover with friends at her home when a stranger entered, took her at knifepoint, and disappeared into the night. A massive search effort ensued, and months later, Polly's remains were discovered. The man responsible was later apprehended and convicted, but Polly's story left a lasting impact. Tiahleigh Palmer was a 12-year-old girl from Logan City, Australia, whose tragic story in 2015 remains a haunting reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by children in care. Tiahleigh was last seen being dropped off at school by her foster father, but she never returned home. 6 days later, her remains were discovered along a riverbank, sparking a high-profile investigation. Over time, it was revealed that her foster family was implicated in her death, a revelation that shocked the nation.